In the intricate dance of programming, every character, every number, and every operation plays a vital role. Welcome to a new chapter in your Python journey, where arithmetic meets strings and operations weave complexity into simplicity. Here, we are not just coding, we are orchestrating a symphony of functions, where slicing strings and calculating numbers becomes second nature. Whether you are analyzing data or building your next innovative app, mastering these operations is key. Get ready to slice through strings with precision and calculate with clarity. You have found the nexus of Python's power, arithmetic and strings operations. Let's transform these searches into success, one line of code at a time.
In this video, we'll look at some of the arithmetic operations provided by Python. Just like any other programming language, Python follows the common mathematical symbols to perform basic arithmetic operations. Let's try a few basic operations on two dummy variables a and b. So I'm going to define a as 6, b as 7, and I am going to try addition. So here is how you would do addition. Basically, I'm going to print, let's say, addition. This is just for the sake of clarity, comma, a plus b. So this is how you would do addition in Python. And let us try other arithmetic operations. I'm going to try subtractions. So this is just subtraction. A minus b. Multiplications. A star b. Division. A divided by b. So this is going to divide 6 by 7 and output 0.8571 as a floating point. There is another version which is floor division. So if you just want to get the floor division, then you have to use double slash. So it's going to give you 0, right? Because 6 divided by 7 is actually, 0 floor division. If I do 16 here, obviously addition, then that would give us 2, right? Because a divided by b is 2 point something, so the floor division is 2. Okay, so I'm going to just try everything on 16 and 7 again. I'm going to get the following values and floor division of 2. Now that we talked about floor division, we also may be interested in modulus or remainder. So this is how you do the modulus. You do all a% b, and that gives you 2 in this example, because 16 is basically, just to have a note here, 16 is basically 2 times 7. That's the floor division, plus 2. That's the remainder. So if I try this on 17, so I'm matching again. So you see the a divided by b is 2 point something, floor division is 2, and the remainder is 3, because 17 is 2 times 7 plus 3. So the modulus or remainder is 3 in this example, given a being 17 and b being 7. And finally, we can try exponential, meaning that a to the power of b, which is a double star b. That's going to give us a huge number, because that's basically 17 to the power of 7. Now let us try a more complex equation. If you recall, the mathematical operators follow a precedence rule called PEDMAX, in which P stands for parentheses, E for exponents, D for division, M for multiplication, A for addition, and S for subtraction. which shows the order of precedence or priority when you are calculating something. So parentheses comes first, next exponent, and so on and so forth. So let's try a slightly complex operation like this. So we have something like this: print 4 times 5 inside parentheses minus 9 plus 6 divided by 7. So parentheses would come first. So this would be the first thing that to be computed, which is 20. From this side, 6 divided by 7. 20 minus 9 plus 6 divided by 7. If I print this, I'm going to get 11.85, which is basically, just try this one. 6 divided by 7 is 85, right? So that's basically 20 minus 9. So this is first, then this, which gives you 85, and then addition. So you would just add this to minus 9 and then do 11 plus. That's the so-called headmath rule. And if you're not familiar, you can look into this reference for Python operator precedence. We have covered arithmetic operations here, and mostly we talked about addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, floor division, and modulus remainder if you are interested in the integer version of the division, and exponential, and we talked about the headmath rule. Let us become more familiar with string operations. We should look at strings as a banner where multiple characters are linked together. The string data is an immutable type, which means it cannot be modified. Whenever we are assigning a character or a string, we use quotation, which represents a character or string. So here's how we define a string as a single character, or we define a string like this. We can also use double quotes for defining strings. So if I do so, and then if I just print them all, C, D, and E are all strings. Now, if you want to define a string with a single quote in that, then we have to be a little cautious. Let me print a sentence like, I didn't know. I didn't know. Right, so in this string, I have a single quote as a part of string. If I print that, it's going to give me an invalid syntax error, because the way it sees the string is that it sees the open quote here and then a closed quote here. Whatever is after here looks like an invalid syntax. There are two ways to solve this problem. The first one is to use backslash. One of the use cases of backslash is that you can add the backslash here, somehow telling the Python interpreter that the single quote coming after the backslash is not closing the string, but instead is an actual character that you wanted this to be printed. So if I do so, I can get I didn't know printed completely. Another solution is to use double quotes like this, and then print I don't know. The backslash character has other purposes and can serve different functionalities. If you want to add new lines into the string, you can use backslash followed by n like this. I'm going to print hi Bob, and then I'm going to print how are you. But I would like this two line after hi Bob and how are you to be two lines separated. So I'm going to put backslash n followed by backslash n. And I'm going to print this. So I can see one line here, it's a new line, and then another new line is inserted by having two backslash n, one after the other. So backslash, specifically in typing strings and in strings in Python and other programming languages, serves a lot of purpose once followed by specific characters. So as you can see here, if you wanted a code, use backslash to tell the interpreter that you want this single code to actually be printed, or if you want new line, we're going to use backslash n. You can look into the Python documentary to find other purposes and functionalities of backslash. Hi again, hope you are having fun learning Python. Until now, we have covered the basic fundamentals of Python language, such as various data types, typecasting, and last but most important, recording user input. Taking user input is important while building applications. And now let's try building an application with the skills we have learned. Let us try building a system that could ask user for a flavor and the type of dessert user wants, and finally store that value for further use. So let's start coding this. So I'm going to take an input from the user and store it in the variable flavor, putting the message, what flavor would you like? And I'm going to have another variable stored by getting an input from the user, what type of dessert do you like? Okay, let's do that. So it's going to get one input. I can say vanilla and then say ice cream. Next, we want to use string concatenation to actually print a message for the user telling him or her what flavor and dessert type he or she has input. In order to do so, you are going to do string concatenation as follows. So the message is you have entered, then comma, flavor. So to concatenate strings in Python, you're going to use plus. So that's basically dessert. If you do so, you'll get, you have until, once you hit the run button, you are going to get, you have entered vanilla ice cream. If you want to have, let's say, a space or an underscore between the two, you can use plus again and have a single character or string like underscore. And that will get you, you have entered vanilla underscore ice cream. So simply by using a plus between two strings, you can concatenate them. And using multiple plus, you can concatenate multiple strings. Congratulations on building a very simple app using input and string functions. In this section, we are going to talk about indexing in strings. Before getting into indexing in the strings, let me just introduce a very simple function, len, which serves the purpose of obtaining the length of a string. So if I have defined a string like this, I've not failed, I've just found 1,000 ways that would not work. Thomas A. Edison. And I want to find the length of this string. I simply put len inside parentheses the name of the string, and it tells me that the length of the string is 82. I'm going to use this 82 later on doing indexing. So indexing is basically, let's start by understanding an index. As you might rightly recall, an index is a pointer to an element. Index in Python is similar to what we have in books, though for different data types, the start value of an index might differ. The first index in a string can be accessed as follows. So if you type string square bracket 0, you can access the first index of this string, or basically the first character of the string can be extracted by typing the following: string inside the curly bracket 0. That is the so-called forward indexing. Forward indexing starts with 0, and you can keep, accessing other characters like this. You can access the, the second character by doing string 1, string 5, and all of that. We can also access the last character. In order for you to access the last character, you should basically put string. The length of the string is 82, but you start indexing from 0, so all you have to do is to do 81, and it's going to tell you n, which is the last character here. We have another option to access the last character of the string by using negative indexing. Negative indexing starts with -1. So if you do string -1, it would give you again n. And you can also do string -2. That's basically indexing from the right side of the string, which should give us the letter O. Good. Now let us try and change one character in the string. Let's say you want to go to the third character, which is string 2, and change it to T, right? You want to have IT, right? If you do so, you are going to get an error telling you, it's a type error, that string object does not support item assign. This is the so-called the immutability of strings. Strings are immutable, or in other words, they're unchangeable. You cannot change a character in a string. More so, you cannot change the entire string. So you cannot change a string. So if for any reason you want to change, let's say, Thomas Edison to Albert Einstein in this string, all you have to do is that you have to define another variable or the same variable and just have the new string and the new word put there instead of Thomas A. Edison. So that's basically the fact, because of the fact that strings are immutable, meaning you cannot change any character in the string. Let me just print this string here, and that's basically the only way we can do that. Of course, there are other ways, we'll talk about them, but in any of these approaches, you cannot just access and change the character like this.
If you've made it this far in the video, give us a like, a share, subscribe, hit the bell icon, tell us what you want to learn next in the comments, and then wait. Or skip the wait and become a data scientist in just 12 months with the Executive PG program in Data Science from IIIT Bangalore, powered by Upgrad in collaboration with experts from Meta, Myntra, and LinkedIn. Over 20,000 working professionals from over 65 batches have already done this course. Now, back to the video.
Up till now, we have seen indexing returns a single character from the string based on the index value. Another interesting operation that can be performed on a string is slicing, which can be denoted by a colon. Slicing operator is used to break a part of a string. So basically, using slicing, you can extract more than one character out. Let us start with the following example. So we have set a string statement, and we are going to define a slice statement variable to be like this statement. So you use square bracket, the start of the slice and the end of the slice. So basically it's going to include from index 0 to index 64, excluding 64. And let us print slice state. Oops. Okay, so this is the output of slicing this initial string to the version which has the first 64 characters. Another syntax for indexing from the beginning could be like this. So I'm going to define a string named batch. So if you want the very first 8 characters, you can also do this. You can do girls equal batch. If you're slicing from the beginning of a string, you can drop 0, and that would still do the job for you. You can also get the rest of them. So if you want to slice from a specific character, let's say from index 8 to the end of the string, you can do the following. So you can drop the start or the end if you're slicing from the start or to the end of the string respectively. So this is going to give you the first 8 characters, and this is going to give you from the index 8 to the end of the string. That's about slicing. So as you can see, you can extract more than one character. You can extract a portion of the subset of this string using slicing technique. Another property or operation that you can do on string is the so-called membership. So let's have our string defined as follows. It says, John, did you attend the conference on advanced machine learning? You can check whether a specific word or a character or a substring exists within this string using the so-called membership. So that is basically to type print. You want to know if Lincoln, the word Lincoln with capital L, is in this string. So all you have to do is type the string, the substring you're looking for in, and the name of the text that you want to look into. The output of this expression is a true or false value. So this is the kind of, it will return a Boolean variable for you because you are checking or verifying whether Lincoln is in the string or not. Let me try this. It's going to return false because there's no Lincoln in this string. Let me try another kind of membership here. Is result in string. Obviously, the result still no. And you can also try one thing that will return. So let's see if machine in string now will return true for me. So this is the so-called membership, where you can search a specific word, character, or a substring within a larger string. You can just use the word you are looking for in and the name of the string which you are looking into. There are other string methods that we would like to go through them one at a time. You can change the characters of a string into uppercase or lowercase using the following methods. These are called methods. So let me define a character, a string like this. So I have defined a string. So let me define a string as follows. Small is the name of the string, and it says I'm uppercase. And let me try to do small dot. The moment you hit tab here, the Jupyter Notebook will give you the list of all the methods or functions that are applicable to string. So if you want to try, let's say upper parentheses, it would return the same string with all the letters that are now changed from lowercase to uppercase. That's one of the kind of methods that you can use on strings. You can also visit this document page on Python to see the list of the methods that are available at your disposal to apply on the strings. Let's try this one. So basically, I am defining a string as I am lowercase. And then I'm going to call the lower method on this string. And as you can see, it's changing all the characters to a lowercase, whether they are uppercase or not. Another function or method that we can apply on string is rstrip. So let me define a string variable called SomeSentence. And it has some space trailing the string or to the right side of the string. So if I print SomeSentence, it's going to give me this. There are some kind of non-visible spaces here. Actually, they are somewhat visible when I do dragging. So I can apply the rstrip function as follows. I'm gonna print some sentence dot rstrip parentheses. I print this. You see there is no space at the end of this string. So this would remove all the characters from the right side of a string. If the default value is space, so if you do not mention any default value, it's going to remove all the spaces from the right side of the string. Now let me try this with another character other than the default, which is space. So if I define some sentence to be, there's space at the end, but let me just replace them with a, and then I print some sentence, and then I print some sentence rstrip, and then now instead of default, I'm gonna just set the value to be a. Let's see how this would look like. So the first sentence is printed as it is defined. The second one is going to remove all the characters a from the right side of the string. So basically the space is still there, but the triple A's are removed here. So this is just to use rstrip with a non-default character. The left strip would do a very similar thing, but now removing the characters from the left side of the string. So I'm defining a variable string as there's space at the start and with some space here. And obviously, since the default value is not changed, it's going to remove all the spaces from the left side of the string. So that is now even visible. You can use the strip function, not rstrip and lstrip, like this. So I'm going to define a string variable named spaces. It has spaces from both left and right side of the string. I'm going to print spaces. And I'm also going to print spaces dot strip parentheses. So it's going to print the actual string and a version of the string with spaces removed from the trailing side and the beginning side of the string. You can do more sophisticated stuff with strip as well. So I'm defining a string variable like this. It has, some characters before 4 and after 4. So I'm going to print num with chars. So I'm going to remove the number character from the right side. And also I'm going to remove, so you see I'm applying rstrip and lstrip at the same time to the string. With the rstrip, I'm removing number characters. With the lstrip, I'm planning to remove stars. Let's see what's going to print. It's going to print only 4. So I have used rstrip with a non-default character and lstrip with a non-default character, both at the same time. So one of the beauties of Python and most of the object-oriented programming is that you can apply multiple functions in one line on a specific variable or object. Next is the count method. So let's say you have a string like this. The string this is a sample sentence, and you would like to count all the characters I in the string. So all you have to do is to type the name of the string, dot, the method count, and the character for which you would like to count. So this would tell you that there are 2 i's in this string. You can also do the following. This count method can accept another input, which is the starting point in the string. So if you do so, it's going to count all the I characters in this string starting from the 5th index, which is somewhere like here. So it's going to return 1 for you, because starting from 5th character or index in the string, you only have one I character left. So this count variable receives an input first, which is the character it has to count. The second input would be the starting index to search. Finally, you can use format to put all the strings together. Let me define the following. I'm going to define 3 strings as follows. A is data, B is analysis, and C is pandas. So one way to print them all together is to do this, right? Is to do, A, B, C, and this is the method that we are familiar with. Data analysis, Python, pandas, right? If you want to print data analysis using pandas, you can also do this, right? You can do using, but this would create like a, this is going to print data analysis using pandas. Another more standard way of typing all strings together is the so-called format function. So you can print, and in a quotation here, and put positions 0, 1, using curly bracket 2, dot format A, B, C. So it's going to print a string by formatting or putting A in the location of 0, B in the position of 1, and C in the position of 2. This is a more standard way or a professional way of typing all the strings clubbed together. There are more things that you can search for that using the format function. Finally, there are plenty of other string operations available in Python that you can explore using the so-called help in the parentheses str. So if you do so, it's going to give you a list of methods. That's a long list of methods that you can apply on strings. We did our best to introduce and do some exercise over some of the very frequent and useful ones, but there are still plenty of those left that you can look into these documents or Python documentation, depending on the task that you are doing or an application of interest.
As we conclude this session, you have not only performed a symphony with Python strings and arithmetic, but you have also set the stage for more complex compositions to come. Each operation, each functions you have mastered is a stepping stone to coding mastery. Carry forward the skills of slicing through problems and piecing together solutions. Stay curious, stay engaged, and continue to build your repertoire. For more Pythonic puzzles and solutions, make sure you subscribe, like, and share. Our upcoming segments are cued to elevate your expertise. So sharpen your skills and prepare to delve deeper. The adventure into Python's vast capabilities awaits.